With a particular camp in Braunschweig, I could see these few engineers coming to the wire and waving to us, and my engineer used to say, like, from distance, "I'm sorry, you know, I didn't know nothing about it. If not, I would have saved you," like.
We walked to, we went on foot. We marched, let's say. We never walked. Free men walk, slaves march. We marched to Wattenstadt. And I think all the people in the Braunschweig sang that song as we were marching. It was a song written by concentration camp inmates. Tee-ra-ra-ram, tee-ra-ra-ram, tee-ra-ree-ra-ra-la-ram, tam-pam-pam-pam, tam-ta-ree-ram, tam-ta-ram-tam-tam-tam, tee-ram-tam-tam-tam. No.
After the Ardennes, we were up on the Rhine River for a while, and one night, well, patrols were going by, across every night with our fellas. One night they went over and, or a patrol from 505 went over and got caught in a minefield, and the 3 or 4 fellas were killed or were hit in this minefield. The next morning, an officer, well, they sent another patrol over to get them. They were laying on the other side. And these fellas jumped out, and they went in to get the bodies out, and some of them were blown up. Then 2 officers, I think a major and a captain from the 505, got it in a kayak, a 2-man kayak, and they were going to go across. And the kayak got in the middle of the river and capsized, and they were drowned. So they decided, well, it's about time, I guess we better send somebody over, a couple engineers over to clear the mines and get them out. I was one of the fellows. It was my job, too. So a fellow named Joe Catalano and I were sent over. We're going to go over at daybreak. We were going to go across in a boat and get the bodies out. It was the morning that Roosevelt died. I know that, and I knew it was going to be so many had been lost going over there that I figured, well, not much. This is going to be a tough one. But there was an officer on our side who had a big binoculars on a tripod, and he had been looking at those bodies laying over there for 2 days, and they were beginning to bloat up and hadn't moved, and he decided that there's no sense to send anybody else over. Let them, you know, we won't send anybody else over. So that was a reprieve for us. But I remember that was the morning Roosevelt died, and everybody was talking about that didn't affect me one bit. I was concerned about not going across the river.
They didn't know what to do with us. They really didn't know. They were pulling from one place to another. And I think it was 6, 7, 8, 9 days without food, without drinks, without anything. People were starving. But the SS said to some of the prisoners, and as I said, there were different kind of prisoners from all nationalities, that if you want to feed yourself, I can give you some food, some human flesh. If you kill one of the prisoners, you can eat him, you know, his meat. There was one person, there were a lot of guys, they gave him some pieces of string. How to kill a person, to be able to eat, they give him a string, a piece of string, and at night, when the prisoner was standing up sleeping, just throw a string around his neck and choke him to death. The question is, how come I survived? It was a Jewish boy who was alive today. I met him. And I knew the guy, and he was one of the gang who was throwing the strings. And I said to him, please, we know each other a long time. He said, no, don't worry, I'll protect you. If I see something, you can sleep quietly at night. Nothing will happen to you. Now, I'm saying it now just like that, but I know the person is alive, you know. We arrived to Ravensbrück, and we walked, and we smelled the flesh burning, you know. We knew it's a crematorium over there. I said, this will be it. In the morning, they announced on the loudspeaker that every Jew should come to this and this spot. There was a big Appellplatz. We didn't want to go. We were talking to each other. There was one guy there by the name of Max, or Hans or Max, and he was a prisoner, an old-timer. When I said an old-timer, I think he went to Dachau in the beginning, and he was a German Jew, one of the pioneers, I think, in concentration camp. Also as a prisoner, and he said to the guys, I said, I don't think they're going to take us to crematorium to burn us. They wouldn't call on the loudspeaker. Something is going on here. I'm going to find out. If I can't, I am the first to march with you, and I'm going to go on this particular spot, and I'm going to announce as I'm here. I would suggest whatever you want to do, but it's up to you. I'm going. So naturally, we said, if Max said, or Hans said, yes, let's go. I don't think we can. What can happen to us? The worst can be, take us, if they want to take us to crematorium anyway, they can find me if they want it. I think we got it together, I don't know, 1,200 people, 1,500 people, I really don't know how many there were. And we start walking. The SS was walking with us. We walked out of this particular camp, and the civilians are taking over. They had Red Cross armbands, civilian dress, and they told us, you belong now to us. I mean, you are not anymore under the German jurisdiction. We belong to the Swedish Red Cross. In the next few days, you're going to be leaving for Sweden. But they took us to the separate camp. Over there, they said, take showers, beautiful bunk beds, bunks. And also one thing, they gave every one of our prisoners 2 packages, care packages. When we opened up the packages, we found all kind of American food, like American cigarette, cheeses, crackers, chocolate. The only thing they tell us, when you start eating, the food is good nourishment for you, but eat it slowly. I was laying at night, clean a little bit, I took a shower, laying on my bunk and smoking an American cigarette. Here, a second ago, I was under the Gestapo. The crematorium was burning. Human flesh was burning. The morning we woke up, there were some female prisoners there who we didn't see them the day before. Some relatives found each other, brothers, sisters, husband, wives, the first time. And they told us the same thing, that they were brought over here to be sent to Sweden. The women prisoners were first sent, also cattle cars, but they all had like a Red Cross on the roof. So we said to them, you know what? Why don't I give you a certain kind of a what do you call it? A code name, code word. If you arrive there or something, put a piece of paper or mark it or something, or in Hebrew, or something, which only I know, somebody said to another, nobody else will know the code. And after a few days, those things came back, and we found notes in there, which actually were true as they arrived in Sweden. We knew we are liberated. That time we felt alright. We got up, and we sang the Atikva the first time in our life because we are liberated already. After a few days traveling, all of a sudden, the same SS turned around and they said to us, your uncle Rosenfeld, the Jewish president of the United States, he doesn't want to exchange you. He's supposed to give us 10,000 trucks. And he said no. That means he doesn't get any prisoners. We could have liberated a few thousand prisoners, I don't know how many, to Sweden, but he said no, and you're going back to concentration camp.
In 3 or 4 days, we finally stopped in a clearing in a forest near a smaller camp.